Hey guys, how's it going? Today I would like to explain to you the differences between a FOB and an ABC and a Chinese-born American. I mean, it could be a Chinese, it could be Japanese, it could be Korean, but essentially it's all kind of the same, you know? I think we are, if they're like American-born East Asians, we're bros, you know? Even though there are some differences, but in a way the experience that would be similar in America. Now, even though I was born in America, I spent very little time there, and I actually only went back to the US when I was around 12-ish, 13-ish. And thanks to my early on-stage brain development is that I already have developed a very strong identity. And oh, by the way, it's because why I'm doing this is because I couldn't sleep. But well, anyway, so my identity was already pretty strong. So like I was already speaking a lot of Chinese, lots of Chinese, man. Like I'll get read and write poems, and it's actually my main language. So by the time I got to the US, English became my second language. I mean, initially it's supposed to be the first because I was born in the US, but I kind of forgot it. But regardless, is that, you know, I was growing up and I looked at it as a second lease in life. That what a great opportunity that I'm here and I get to try this out. Maybe I might succeed in this system, at least academically, maybe career-wise as well. So who knows? It's a good country, you know. Overall, I mean, there are. I think I used to complain in the '90s, like, oh, I like you know, Asia better, but well, when after a while you realize you don't really like Asia as much. A lot of things. There are definitely reasons why people leave Asia to go to America, right? And so for me, I think like any opportunity in the U.S. with a huge amount of disparities, like for example, there are a bunch of dumb students in a school, in a class, and then I'm just like, oh, awesome, great, I could be like number one here. And so the attitude is very different, you know. Like I never really thought about that I would become a U.S. president, you know. I would never think I would become a vice president of the United States. Never. I mean, if you are born in the U.S., you will have a chance to become the U.S. president. But at the, you know, the way I feel about my English is that even today, it still is kind of secondary. It's not going to be, it's not going to be my first language. I wouldn't think in it. I wouldn't like, you know, I wouldn't think Scarlet Letter is actually easy to read. I wouldn't, just, I never really thought about that, like literally I would become a president. I don't think that's part of the deck of the cards. You know, so like America is more like a vehicle for us. It's like, you know, if we can succeed in it, great. If not, then, you know, maybe we have to go back. So that is kind of the attitude that I have. Now, I'm not saying I'm by no means perfect, but I try my best, you know, all the time in America, you know, like try to do good in school, try to find a job, try to do other stuff, all types of things, you know. But obviously, I wouldn't know everything because my parents were just the first generation to get really educated well. previously, like they were all just, high school or even middle school educated. So there are certain limitations what they know that is appropriate. They just know they need to study. We need to study. And compared to my relative, who is a girl, and she is came to the States around 6 years old, and she has this like 5 years old, so she has pretty much she still could speak, the language of Chinese, but by the time she got here, she quickly assimilated within a year, and then she could start speaking English like very naturally compared to me. She got out of it, everything like very easily, and that became her language. And she started playing with a lot of her, she got a lot of friends that are non-Asian, and she grew up with it. And then she's like into all these. She knows she's Chinese, but she's also very exposed to a lot of American things. So, by the time she's older, she wanted to find a proper, like dating person, right? Person to date. But the thing is that it's not that easy for her, because she wouldn't find a lot of Asian men be able to measure up to her. So, first of all, is that. So a lot of ABCs got that issue, is that they wouldn't easily be able to find a person to date, because let's say if they're looking for a there's a really, really, like, beautiful, I guess, white Caucasian guy, and it'll be kind of out of her league, and or he has a lot of choices. He doesn't always have to date you. He could date white girls or Asian girls and whatever others, but they have lots of choices. So for her is gonna be like not, unless she's like a drop dead gorgeous, like Asian girl, then you're gonna find some issues. But it's not that easy, So she has a lot of ideals, where the Western ideals of what's cool, what's awesome, and versus the reality. There's the U.S. They poison you with all these ideas that what the perfect world would be in Hollywood. See, Hollywood actually brainwashes people, where a lot of people become depressed because they shape the value. It is so perfect, where like life is perfect. This is what life ought to be: big houses, nice cars, great job, money just comes easy, brand new cars, big, those type of things, But when you when you actually get what you can get, you feel like, man, I'm coming pretty short. And that's the way she feels about life in America. It's like everything feels like it's short. And the thing is that it's not everything is short. It's the fact that, like, it came in short. It's the fact that you gotta copy the American mindset, where you work just like everybody else. You gotta work way harder. So there are discriminations, but in the sense of the fact that if you want to achieve, then you gotta do much more than other people. You can't just inherit something, and that's the thing. It's not like it's terrible. It's just that's the kind of like the requirement. Now they feel like a huge grudge on that. It's like a really bad event for them. They all have this one collective memory. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like at least five, six people tells me the same thing. That like when they're around fourth grade or fifth grade, all of a sudden just nobody wants to play with them anymore, and they get like shunned by their friends, and it seems like they're just going elsewhere. It seems like it's a movie where everybody decided to walk away from you. I mean, I've never experienced it. It must be detrimental. It must be detrimental because the parents didn't notify you about that stuff. They think it would just continue to go on. Just most of the time, when you're an Asian, just others just hang out with others. It's just the way it is. Now, I actually never had that identity issue. Like, I never really thought I would have a white friend, quite honestly. Or like a black friend, you know? So, whatever it is, I mean, I think it's cool. But they think it's not cool, man. They think it's not. And that's the biggest problem. Is that like living in America for us is easy, man. Because there are not a lot of expectations. But for them, it's a lot. I mean, we would even like a lot of FOBs, you know, this is what we say to ourselves, like, hey, do you think like I speak good enough English to kind of get a white girl or get like, you know, other interracially mix? That's the question we ask. It's that we don't really think the aptitude is quite there sometimes. But for them, they think they're entitled to it. That's the thing. We don't know. So the entitlement of a East Asian, like born, you know, natively American born, versus that is a big difference, man. But I don't know. Like, she's now in her late 30s and seems like she still got issues, you know. That just kind of bothers me a little bit because, like, how could somebody at this age still got issues? You know, that thinking that you know, there are still a lot of shortcomings she feels. So that's interesting. I don't know, and that's why I don't really you know, date Asian-born Americans. Not like I discriminate them, but if they have this type of mental issues, like it's really straining, you know. That's the thing. I mean, life, you are who you are, man. I mean, I don't know what they're trying. Like in the FOB thinking, right? It's like, who are you trying to kid? Like, you know, you are Asian. Why not just do Asian things? But to them, they're not. They're just trying to be some kind of idealistic American. But there's no such thing. Like, even for Jewish, like Jewish just hang out with Jewish guys, and you know, whites if they're Protestants, and the Protestants, and if they're Catholic, the Catholic. They're different. You know, they do become different. So there's no such thing as a real American, right? It's just it's a Hollywood thing. Yeah, people just go into the communities, man. That's the thing. If you're not plugged into a community, then no one really cares about you, you know? I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, so that's what I think, man. I mean, hopefully, if you're an ABC, like, or American born Korean, bro, just don't worry about it, you know? Don't worry about a lot of things. Just, just enjoy the time that you're here. You are doing much better than 98% of the people in the world. It's all right. Thanks, and I'll talk to you later.